Hello YouTube, Team Ingham here, bringing you a deck breakdown of Tachikaze, my probably most bleh top tier quote deck that's currently out. It's not.
It's one by combo.
It's not. Don't no, because you don't know you can use resources in one turn, but you wouldn't. But anyway, I don't. The thing I find frustrating by this deck is there's not a massive variance you can do on it. It always relies on finding certain cards, but I'll come across it as and when. So I'll just go through the way I would build the deck because it's, in my opinion, the most consistent way to focus on what you want to get out of the deck. So, with the card you have to ride to win is Gaia Emperor. So we'll have 4 of those because why wouldn't you want 4?
What's he do?
You do, you counter blast 1, you call up to 2, because it's Atimal-esque, and then you can select them 2 on the field after calling up to 2, and they come back when they're retired. The backup is the Counter Blast, Soul Blast, top 5 to find something within Gorge. So, yeah, that's that. Okay, so I run 3 of those because I like to run 7, so that's pretty much the only reason.
What did it do?
That's just said what it did, man. Counter Blast, Soul Blast, top 5
I wasn't paying attention.
No, you weren't. So
You never use Tachikaze.
no, I don't. I don't like them. It's annoying because in all my plans, I always like something about them, but they've been so bad for so long, and they finally got half decent, but they're still missing things. They're still reliant on certain cards, and I'm basically going to put the main cards down the left column and to go over them later. But anyway, so people don't run this at 4, but I think it's necessary to find to win the game. So I run 4 Tank Mammoth. Like, oh my god, 4 8Ks, well, it doesn't matter if if it's boosted by something. It's still a 15, which is why I don't really care. Because when it's retired, Counter Blast, Soul Blast comes back, gains 3k. So it's a nice little 11 niggle. Because I max out on Engorge units, so on grade 2/3, you can get multiple attacks off and push them early game. Not that I ever really find it early game. The bad side is it can't niggle a rear guard because it's 8. So this is the GB1 Counter Blast, Soul Blast Engorge unit for Gaia Emperor. So it gains 2k when you Counter Blast, Soul Blast, and you can retire something to gain 5k and draw a card. It's all GB, unfortunately. But you can just use the Engorge effect for no reason because that's what you can do with Engorge. And the last one is the Sarko Blaze. It's the one that you retire something via Engorge. It's non-GB, so you can do whatever you want. And you can't guard with grade 0s. So that's little 12 grade 2s there, which I quite like. 4 on flipping Perfect Guard, because you counterblast a lot in here. You can use the Engorge one to go top 5 with that, but I'd prefer to unflip. 4 Stride Assist, because you stride to win in this game. This deck, sorry, not this game. There's no backup. Again, the focus point is the let's pronounce that Freeze Nix. It's basically your unflip soul charge when it's retired if you have a Gaia Vanguard. So as promised, I'll put everything down there that's required to win the game. Okay, and my nice little tech of 2 8Ks, which I'll get to in a bit. Now, for grade 0s, you've got your starter of Baby Chimera. Baby Chimera. This is what is, again, I'll go through in a minute why the focus is there, but it's Counter Blast 1 to call out a grade 1, and it gains 3k. Other than that, you've got 4 Perfect Guards.
That's a heal trigger.
Yeah, 4 heal triggers. God, same as you, I'm just completely out of it today. So, what? So it's 4 heal triggers. I looked at the Perfect Guards, got confused. So
They might as well be sisters, to be fair.
Oh my god, I hate how you've seen that. They're actually quite similar, aren't they?
Yeah, it's like Savage Guardian, Savage Healer, and they're pretty much sisters. Or mother and daughter.
Is this
I'm going to go with sisters.
Is this text at all?
I'm going to go with sisters.
That's knowledge? I don't know. I'll look into it. I really don't want to look into it. You look into it. So the crit trigger for Gaia Emperor. So the Intersoul when you've got attacks to give it 5k, assuming it's that, because it's so reliant on that. 2 Nature Dragon crits because Intersoul unflip if I want to. So that's that. You've got 4 of the draw trigger. This Intersoul gives something 3k because it does something. That's always nice. And 2 draw triggers because I can. And they're Ancient Dragons. No. So that's the core of the deck. Other than that, the 3 units we like to chuck in there. So the Sea Breeze if they don't ride grade 2, the Screw to discard a card and gain 10k shield, and the Dark Element to stop them from hitting a rear guard if needs be, because again it's just a format choice.
Is that on the camera?
It should be. No.
Is the baby camera on there?
No, baby camera's not on there. You can see the top of it, just. So anyway, you've got those 3?
Is that on the camera?
Yeah, that's on the camera.
Yeah, definitely on the camera.
Yes, just, it's fine. People know, if they watch the video, they know what I'm talking about. So, those are the 3 there. You've got your 3 Tachikaze G-Guards, which number of rear guards is less than or equal to, against 5k shield. So they're basically all my G-Guard units. The Ruffler side I'll get to in a minute, but the rest of the deck really doesn't matter in G units, except for these, basically. So you tend to go into that first, which is Engorge to retire 3, and you draw a card.
And you get 5k per retire.
Yeah, that's the one. Other than that, that's your main finisher. Like, if the game's going on beyond that, then you go into that. Not that I went into it in our game, but you GB2 choose a copy of itself and turn it face up. When you retire, you can retire the field. It gains 10k, and it will restand and get -1 drive check.
I believe it's if you retire 3, you get 10k, and if you retire 5,
it gets the restand. Yeah,
you get the restand.
That's the one. I'll confirm it, but I believe it's that. So if it's 3 or more, it gets 10k, and if it's 5 or more, stands unit, it gets -1
at the end of the battle.
At the end of the battle.
Yeah.
So you attack the
But the point is, it's the wombo. Well, I say wombo combo. It's the combo with the stride break. So you retire your whole field, and then you counter boss 1 to get the 2 back.
That's the one. I'll get to that in a minute.
And it happens at that point of Engorge, so that you get the column back and can trigger dump on it.
Yep. So other than that, these are literally in there just in case they don't have a full field. So that's retire 1 when it attacks. When it attacks, right? Yeah, choose one of your rear guards.
Mike, I don't know. You never.
When this unit attacks a Vanguard, okay, the cost. Yeah, so retire. So if it hits, I retire something else, and it gains 5k. So it's just that one hit retire. That's to retire 2 again, just in case I don't have a full field. And if I retire 2, it goes 3k to the end of the turn, and I retire one of my opponent's front rows. So it's nice. Instead of -1, so -3 to draw 1, it's -2 to retire 1. That's always nice. That's another copy of the retire 3. So I just run 2 of those again, just in case I haven't got a full field for that. At least I can draw a card. And that's the GR, which is the Counterblast to Soul Blast 2. Choose 3 and I'll retire everything. At the end of the Dusk's Tech to Vanguard, I can pay the cost and retire all fighters' rear guards. So, other than that, I mean, I've said this multiple times about this Tachikaze deck, but at the end of the day, if you can find, I assume that's somewhat, yeah, it's enough on there. Baby Kamara, the Gaia Emperor, Tank Mammoth, and the grade 1 for Gaia, then that is what you're aiming for. It really doesn't matter what your deck's doing. That's what the core of the deck is, regardless of how many of each you run. So you're focusing on mainly targeting your starter and a grade 2 or grade 3 or something. To when you retire 3, then
with the stride skill.
Yeah, with the stride skill, then the starter would come back. The starter would activate to counterblast and search a grade 1, so you gain a plus from it. the other unit you targeted, regardless of what it is, would come back, and the third target of Tank Mammoth comes back by its own skill. So you retire 3, all 3 come back, you draw a card because of that effect, and that goes off to plus you a card for a counterblast. And if that's retired, it unflips soul charges, so it refunds the cost of Tank Mammoth. So the majority of the time, it's these 2 you'll target, so you don't lose them, and you can search something else. The reason I run the 8K is specifically for this. You'll notice in one of the games as well, I targeted this and the Grey 3. So when they came back, this searched the 8K, so it becomes an 11 niggle. Then I can attack with this again and retire it to search another 8K. So the slight misplay I did make, however, is I retired that as well, and that adds 2K to a unit when it unflips and soul charges, so you can search out any 7K, but in the second time you retire it, you can search out the 8K, because it only gains 3K at that point.
That's just Mike and his big fascination with attacks.
I just like the idea of having a unit I can search that can attack by gaining 3K and hit a Vanguard. I think it's much better than running the 6K which people use, which is just when per unit that is engorged. So if nothing was engorged and I engorged with that grade 1, then it just go up by 3K. So
no, it's put 3K for each engorged unit.
Yeah, so not from the one amount you've retired, it's the amount that had gained the engorged effect. It's 3K. But anyway, so that is pretty much how the deck is. It's focused purely on that and the starter. They're purely in there for the engorged effect to get multiple attacks off with that. It doesn't really matter, and also it's more targets for the backup. Is another reason that they're in there. And 6 and 6 because it needs draw power, I believe. I don't think all the crits are needed. Other than that, I like the idea of including Ancient Dragons as a backup instead. It's a variant that I'd like to go towards, but again, I don't think the support's there to warrant doing it. But at the end of the day, I still think as long as that's in there and the starter, you're absolutely fine. And that as a backup, because you need to ride that to win. As much as I try, you have to ride it to win. So that's at least a backup that can potentially search that, so that when you ride that when you go into that next time, you can rewrite that.
You can't search that.
You can. It's called Gorge.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's like the first one I've seen that actually has its own fucking skill.
What the top 5?
There's probably more that I just never noticed, but yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so that is the deck. So anything else to add, or is that absolutely fine?
I think that's fine. I don't know. I never see you play it enough, so I can't really comment too much.
As I said, I generally don't like the way it focuses purely on that. Until I can create a deck for a clan that I can do well on both Vanguards, to the point where it's competitive on whatever I ride, I'm not overly interested in the deck, because I'd like more support, more options, because again, Tachikaze don't have enough options with units to put in there. It requires you to put in that, it requires you to put in that, it requires you to put in that. There's too many requirements. You have to start with that. And what I mean by have to is if you want the deck to work as best as it can. But in the day, I don't think it can last very long in fights against anything, mediumly to high aggressiveness in playstyles. So that is the way I built Tachikaze. Thank you guys for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know how you build your Tachikaze deck, or if you think that for some reason something shouldn't be in there or something. Bearing in mind I'm purely on consistency, that should be in there. You guys know it's pro. And we'll see you guys later.